Alright then, let's start here, why not? So, Headless Defender. Funnily enough, there don't actually exist any pictures of the Headless Defender. So I just sort of had to, make my own. Probably not the highest quality I could possibly. I actually just almost entirely forgot that I actually have Capture on today. I was just remembering my very early art streams where I didn't have enough USB ports to have my camera and art tablet plugged in at the same time. Well, get started. I'm just gonna power through some of the early stuff fast, so I will be drawing from 3D models. I'm just sort of used to it at this point. I feel like my art wouldn't be quite so good otherwise. Let's see, what are the proportions of the head? Well, he doesn't have a head, first off, so it's kind of hard to tell how many heads tall he is. His legs are pretty short, actually. I mean, obviously I don't need to get exact proportions. I did have some ideas going for what I want the pose and sort of thing to be. It's probably going to be like a from here camera angle. And I also want... Okay. So, I think this is actually the first time I'm doing any, like, posing on stream. What I start by doing is I use these little balls that are at the like prime meridians of each vector. I just use them to move the body into the approximate position that I want it to be. And then afterwards I do way more details stuff. Okay. Sorry, I'm just being tricky and annoying. There. I wanted him to be kneeling with that knee down. Whoa! Not mean to grab that. Means that this ball needs to go forwards to around here. Be a bit of a wider stance. That's okay. And I work things out like that. Means that this leg also needs to go that. Sort of hunching forwards a little bit. Stop looking up, please. Oh, I actually need something to act as a shield. What do we do for that? Do we have any primitive shapes that'll work? Let's see, what shape is the shield? It's a kite shield, so... I might be able to cobble one together, actually. If I just take, like, a pyramid, and I 100% flatten it out into a two-dimensional object, and I take probably a prism, and do the same for that. Right. First, I'd like to get the posing correct. And the other thing I wanted to do was have Lily in the picture as well. It's sort of like a, like last stand protection type thing. I also wanted to have the sword stuck in the ground over here. I enjoy the aesthetic of, you know, last desperate defense type thing. Alright, the head doesn't actually matter. The head can go away. I can't make the head go away, unfortunately, but I can just sort of... Here, wait, can I just break your neck? Oh, Dengal, hello. Yeah, you don't need to have a head. How do I make that disappear? That's pretty close to being disappeared. Okay, that's fine. That works. Stream title is a bit vague, so you might not be aware, but I'm drawing fan art of this guy here. The headless defender from Ender Lilies. It is extremely overrated. He doesn't even have one, and he's one of the best things, or best spirits you can use in that game. Now we want to get Lily in. She's gonna need to be... Oh, I can't just shrink her proportional sizes. I actually have to edit specific parameters. What do you do to make someone child size? You can't just shrink them. The 3D drawing figure. This. Kids are skinny. I can just do like that. Oh, okay. If I edit something called height, then it proportionally shrinks things. Got it. Alright. I might also want to... Oh, you can just change head to body ratio. Okay. Let's just take a look at Lily. Lily is like... What? Here, I can actually just measure how many heads high she is, because... something pretty simple to do. It's just... What color should this look? I'll just make it red. Nothing else in this image is red. Okay, so that's one head. So if I were to then drop that down, he's around 4 heads tall in total. Got it. So let's just do the exact same process here and measure heads. So, there's the circle tool. It's not quite straight on, but that's fine. Oh, the circle is very skinny, because this canvas is far, far larger than that last one. Still there. Go away, circle. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, I should probably actually just, just gonna paste it on the same layer. No, it's not. Okay, I'll just merge the layers later. Alright. So, I need... Oh my, she is... got strange proportions. Alright. Just merge, merge, merge. Didn't mean to do that. I think I accidentally merged it with the 3D model. What's going to happen? Oh, okay. I accidentally merged it with the 3D model. What happened? Like, physically, what is going to happen? I don't think I can... I borked it by doing that. I just have to undo, right? Okay. Note to self, just don't ever do that, I guess. Because you destroy everything. Oh wait, I can still move. Okay. There we go. Layers are separate now. Right. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, back to editing the physical parameters of this 3D model. Drawing figure. Let's just keep dropping down the height, I guess. This is going to be really odd. Alright, is this the correct height? I don't even have to do that. I just do this. It's still not even the correct height. Okay, let's just put it at the feet so I know when I'm done. More 3D model, nanogargle. Okay, so that's how tall, but I also need the head to be the size of one of these circles. That's horrifying. Guess that's what happens when you put realistic proportions on a chibi character. That doesn't look right. I don't know how that happened. Let's take some artistic license and not do direct sort of whatever I was doing. It's also had a bit more substance to the body. I'm gonna put baggy clothes on it anyways, but boy, that is something else, alright? Okay. Just get this character here. Let's see, and I wanted her to do the, like, this sort of pose, which is typically her cowering away from danger pose. It's sort of like this. Oh! Or both arms are going to be up here. Ugh. Alright. Okay. I've gotten a lot better at using 3D models. Somewhat. I used to not know how to control any of this stuff at all. It's become slightly more intuitive now. Shoulder joints definitely control a lot more arm movement than you would initially suspect. Especially since the elbow joint is only one direction. Oh, she's just reaching through her own chest. Yeah, sometimes the ball joints do weird things. Physically impossible things, like what I did to the headless defender's head. Let's see. It's just this sort of... Oh, it's not letting me go to my pens. Thank you. I think her hands are crossed, like that. Can't quite tell. Arm like that, and here. Arm like that, and here. That's what it looks like at the very least. Whoop. Okay. Keep trying. God, that oversized head is disconcerting. Yeah, that shoulder is definitely way too high. You want hunched shoulders. Weak and defenseless stance. You want lowered shoulders. The whole point of the game is that she is a vulnerable child who is given tasks far too grand for her. Because the world is terrible. Head should be... Oh, please don't look at me. There we go. Facing down. Neck should probably be hunched forward as well. Oh, oh no. So, you can mess with depth of field if you use the scroll wheel. For some reason, scroll wheel is depth of field, which really messes me up a lot of the time. And once you get to, like, detail posing like I'm doing now, you really don't want to mess with any of the, like, the ball joints, because that just creates a whole host of issues. I also don't want too much clipping. And clipping is fine. It just creates some slight awkward occurrences down the road. Let's just be extra granular and move a finger so that it looks more like resting along the interior arm. Like that. But also very subtly curve in the fingertips so it looks more like grasping. There we go. Ah! So now, I'm gonna get the posing correct. Okay. I'm trying to remember, does the Headless Defender have a cape? Yes, okay. Good. I wanted to incorporate that as like a background here. Because it's supposed to be like a... Oh, I did it again. It's a protecting position. He is shielding her from harm. So that's going to be back a bit more. How do I rotate again? This? Okay, there we go. And resting on shoulder. Protective. Defensive sort of pose. That shoulder back a bit. Ooh. I'm really snapped into place doing that. Sometimes these don't do what I think they will. Also, I feel like there really should be a way to rotate at the elbow. Because, like, I know it's the wrist that's doing most of the rotation when you turn your hand, but it looks really weird when you do it because it just creates a curve here that doesn't, like, twist the rest of the arm. It's like, you know, the bones in your arm rotate around each other to facilitate your hand twisting. It doesn't just entirely twist at the wrist like a ball joint. Just a bit weird sometimes. It's going to be... Oh, it's going to be behind a shield. So it doesn't matter that much. I think I can create the shield now, just out of primitive shapes. Wait, can I just use a plane instead of flattening a prism? Is that going to look better? I think flattening a prism will look better. Flattening and entirely resizing. Got it. Oop. Now I just have to bring them forward and accurately place it against the back of his arm. Okay, well, this is difficult and mildly awkward. Yeah, that does look a bit better, having it be a flattened prism. Just really have to subtly inch it around, rotate it correctly. Alright. We make it a bit wider here. Alright. I think that's good for this portion of the shield. Okay, I guess I'll just have to actually clench his hand because otherwise it's gonna look weird. And you can, like, do a general edit of the parameters of the hand, like Clip Studio has just sort of general. I can get rid of this actually. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you can just edit hand pose as a whole instead of editing each of these fingers individually like I'm doing, like a lunatic. But that also edits them for both hands. So if you want your hands doing two separate things, you have to do one finger at a time. Because this is a clenched fist, sort of. Oh, hello, Ten. Good to see you. I'm working through my process of creating 3D models that I will then trace over. If you're curious, because my title is somewhat vague, I'm drawing art of the Headless Defender and Lily from Ender Lily. Now that I have that. Right. How am I going to position the camera? Like right here is pretty good. I'd probably want to get slightly closer angle. This. I don't want too much covered up by the shield. And I also need to finish the shield. I need one more piece of 3D whatever. Primitive. Let's flatten out a pyramid. Right. I very specifically remember at one point there was a sibling Gartic phone collab. This was right before I got into the Discord, because it was how I found out that the Discord existed, was seeing the rest of the siblings do a Gartic phone collab. And the point was brought up that it's very obvious that none of us siblings can actually draw, or else we'd probably have made our own model. So that's something that we all somewhat share in common, at least, is that we're not good at drawing. There we go. That's looking sort of like a kite shield. Draw down that a little bit. How long is the point on the defender's shield? That's pretty long. Ooh, okay. Almost lining up. Pretty good. I like some missing things on width and whatnot, but yeah, let's try and rotate it just ever so slightly to get it properly situated. Oh, okay, no, that was too much. Never mind. Wait, or is it? Oh no, that is better. Okay, never mind. Oh, I remember what I actually wanted to change. It's not pointing straight down. There. A little bit of inward curve probably wouldn't hurt either. Okay. I'm not going to match this up exactly. I don't need to try so hard at it. Thanks. So, for the pose, I think that's probably good. Oh yes, one of the other things that I wanted to do. What does his sword look like? Oh. Okay, well, need to do that. Okay, because I just want to have this sticking out of the ground nearby. I can just throw a plane on here. Oop. And that can be the sword. Probably don't need it that long. That there. Okay. And also move it underground a little bit. Oh, that didn't change anything. The ground doesn't obscure. Well, I could... I think I can make it obscure. I just drop a plane. Make it flat. Oh. Alright. There we go. Just creating a makeshift floor that should be opaque, I think. Opaque enough for the purposes that I'm trying to use it for, which is burying that sword in the ground. Is too high. Second, let's lift it down like that. Back out like that to compensate. Yeah, I normally do all of this stuff off stream, but I figured I might change it up a little bit. Also get rid of that layer. It was just measuring head. Okay. Also move it back onto that. Okay. So I think that's all I really needed from 3D modeling. Okay, let's just take another look at this. So I'm trying to think about what this structure actually is. It reminds me a lot of the phalanx from Demon's Souls, stroke the pseudo phalanx from Dark Souls 1. It's sort of like, it looks like it's a some sort of circular structure. It's like domed and it just sort of has like a lattice structure. Just sort of webbed like this. I'm actually really surprised that I managed to create a somewhat convincing looking 3D structure just off of the cuff. Yeah, it's sort of like latticed like that. That's what it looks like at the very least. Oh, looked convincing to me. Okay. Let's just drop the opacity of that down a fair bit. Not too much though. Alright, so I wanted to try doing some really lineless drawing, because that suits the style of the game a lot. Because it's very sort of like painted with no very thick outlines on anything. It feels like Lily doesn't have any outlines at all some of the time, just like definition in her hair and that sort of thing. So I wanted to just try painting instead of drawing. I'm going to, like... Because one of the other things that I've been doing is, reading Berserk, rereading that, and really loving the art in that. Okay, let me actually just Control A, Control C, Control V. That didn't do it. Control Z. Oh, right, because it's not all in the same layer. Time to combine everything. Merge, merge. Control C, Control V. Again, I just have direct reference to work off of. Just good to have it visually available whenever I need to look at it without having to just swap back and forth. That's good. I'm making a lot of large edits right now, and it does not enjoy that. Okay. Just drag it sort of like down here, so somewhat out of the way, so that I can focus on how the armor is shaped. I think this is also, was I on this one? Oil flat brush. Yeah, I think this is actually the exact sort of thing I was thinking of drawing with, and I wanted a very, very soft eraser. But it's not really deleting so much as fading it out. Can I go? Oh, I can't go straight to paint. Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay. Here, actually, what is the shortcut for this? P? Probably P, right? I'm hovering over it. Does it not have a shortcut? Alright, no, pen is P. What is this then? Does it not have a shortcut? Wait, what? Oh, right, pencil and pen are the same. Saving this as a time lapse either, that's fine. Nothing that needs to be saved as a time lapse, mainly because I'm streaming it, so that works out. Alright, what am I looking for again? Alright, I wanted to see if I can find the hotkeys. It'd be in here somewhere, right? Build, action. That'd be under though. There's help. And a list of hotkeys. View, select. Where? Gotta be an edit, right? No, that was a dumb thing to say. Modifier key settings, shortcut settings, okay. I haven't dove into this at all. Oh, I think... Oh, yeah, that's just menu commands. Pop-up palettes? What I'm looking for? Histories. I don't think so. Tools. I think that's it. Brush is B. Okay. I just have to remember to press. Is it E is a... Oh, what did I do? I pressed E and it moved to eraser. It didn't want to. Okay, so I can just cycle using E and B. It's not quite as fast as the, shortcuts I have on my tablet, but it'll do for now. So like that. Okay, how far does the breastplate go? I think it's just breastplate. It doesn't seem to cover too much more. Oh, hello, Pyromancer. I mean, if you... I don't think you can track backwards, but I just sort of did it. I don't know. I can't explain it much better than that. here, let me just pop open an entirely new drawing. We're down, drawing figure. I guess I'll just explain, like, the basics of the process. So, let's see. If I want to go for, like, an action sort of punching pose, I guess, what I do to start off is I use these to sort of get an approximate, like, area where I want everything to be. Get the hand sort of up here. Torso is going to be turning for the punch. Head and neck. Whoop. Swivel around to face forwards. You only want to do, like, gradual sort of stuff with that. This shoulder facing like this. Our punch arms are typically rotated on their side like this. When you punch, you want a slightly cocked elbow. You don't want your arm to be straight. This is actually just general martial arts training. If you have a straight arm, you're going to break your elbow if you punch something. And for this one, I can actually just do pure clenched fist pose. So you can just automatically make fists clench. Oh, you can control one fist at a time. Okay, I didn't realize. That's be fully clenched there. Let's see. Sort of leaning forwards. When you punch, you don't squat like this. You're going to be taking a step. This arm is back, or this leg is back. Shoulder up like that. I mean, like, I'm not getting, like, the best punching pose. I'd probably want to spend a little bit longer, probably have, like, the waist twisted around, but then I'd have to reset everything. You can just sort of just maneuver your way around. Just do big motions first and then follow up with small motions later. Get rid of illustration 4, don't need it anymore. Uh-oh, have I been drawing on my reference layer? I sure have. Why do I keep doing that? Fine. Cut that out. Paste it on there. Just label this sketch. Okay. Headless defender needs his, like, pseudo head cage. Oh, right, I forgot that I disabled everything. Here, let me turn that back on. I just had them disabled for the collab stream, because I didn't want any, like, distractions or anything during the game. Yeah, those can all get turned back on. I just forgot to do that before starting today. I was doing other stuff. I'm live. Okay. I'm aware, don't worry. Yeah, I left hello on because if you don't have at least one redeem live, then people can't gain channel points when watching. So I had to leave one open. And these should all just be coming back on one at a time. Oh. Okay, they do actually even update live. That's nice. I'm definitely also thinking that I need to go through and create sort of season 2 of sound redeems, just like I did season 2 of the voice line gotcha. There we go. It's everything back on. Yeah. Yes, recipe is supposed to be 301. I dropped down the price a little bit. Because it was, you know, a bit much at 1,000. There's a bit of deflation going on in the channel point economy, I suppose. Yeah, so that's fine. The current one that's going right now is Chili from Penelope. Oh, is it actually been reset because I turned it off and on again? I might have done it. Okay, no, it is still on cooldown. Okay. Whoops. Let me just do really quickly a red dot in the center of this. Defender always has a little red dot. That's properly covered over. Ooh, I do actually really like this. The paintbrush instead of just drawing by default. Okay, so let's see. He's got some sort of like a metal girdle going on around the midsection of his body. I'll just... Actually, I don't think it would come that far off. But the, what is that section? Chainmail? Heavy leather? This actually got pretty high, looking at it. It's hard to see most of it because of, you know, the big shield that's in the way. Does it overlap with... Okay. What I was drawing earlier was the breastplate here. But that actually terminates a lot higher than I thought it did. Okay, and he also has sort of like this thing going on. Just a bit of metal there. Does that go all the way around, actually? Again, hard to tell. No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, it is. It is just a flat and then the big pauldron. Sort of here. Yeah, there are also a lot of poses that I struggle with. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately. Brush. Like, you know, in the speed draw that I posted to my Twitter, one of the poses that I wasn't very happy with was Kieran's. Everything else looked pretty decent. Even Sif, who was pretty difficult to draw. You know, on account of Sif being a dog. But I mainly did just sort of trace Sif, so... Not too much difficulty there. Let's taper the shield a bit early. That point's a bit far down, I think. Yeah, the slight 3D-ness of the flattened prism is actually a lot better than if I had used a plane for this. I'll just suggest these lines by doing that. How broad are these pauldrons? How far down do they go? Very big. Got it. That'll go to around here. I need to get like a mini keyboard that I can just have set off to my left-hand side. That can be a like more efficient to use system of like hotkeys for drawing. Right now, all I am using is brush and erase, so not too difficult, but every now and then I need to move my hand around to actually see what I'm trying to draw. It is also very difficult since I only have these odd little sprites to go off of. I think I'll probably have to take some minor liberties with what exactly it is that I do end up drawing. Oh, I went to airbrush. Got it. I'm doing flat oil. Did it again. Okay, I think something else that I should probably learn to do is rotate my canvas. Are there hotkeys for this? Doesn't look like it. And it does not like rotating very much. Duly noted. This is just sort of not used to it. But yeah, this'll make finding optimum angles a bit easier. Okay, that does just automatically recenter it. Oh, you know what, actually? Top of it shouldn't look like that. Just be very sort of actually angled crest, like this. You shouldn't be able to see what's on the back of it. There we go. A bit better. Ah, okay. I was like, oh, how did I see what was on the inside? Okay, but it's just like arm strap, bracer, armored gauntlet. That'll come a bit off of the arm. Interior of the arm. I should get rid of this bonus line that sort of ended up there. Alright, brush. Do those to show the line a little bit better as well. Brush. Let's just do sort of flat matte black rectangles for the armored bits on the back of each finger. That's not quite right. I also realized that I left a bit of clipping, but that's fine. It should come down a bit more on the outside as well. Can't be fixed. Let's just get those last bits in. Just get some last connecting lines in. Right. Oh, I can use the spacebar to do this. Okay, so belt. First, I'm going to try and draw armored plates. Going to be behind Lily. I'll erase it later, it's fine. The belt goes around that. The plate on the other side would just be falling past the thighs. Don't have to put too much detailing into that. Have to make sure that it terminates at the right point. I guess we'll be sort of pressed out like this then, because of the position of the thigh. Oops, meant to go to eraser. Oops, I didn't mean to erase that much. Whoops. Lots of mistakes happening. Fine. Brush. Wrap this belt. I guess it would be sort of around like that. Okay. Looks like it's more around the ribs than the midsection, like I was doing earlier with that portion. This is armor on armor. It vanishes behind the head of Lily again. Wait. Why? Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't be making it loose. It should be, well, specifically up here, where it meets the skin. It should be form-fitting somewhat. It's just the areas underneath are sort of chain or softer and squishy. That makes that look a bit less bad. Okay, wait. Goes down like that. It branches off that way, right? Ah, no. Go down a bit like that, and then up like that. And use sort of back up when it reaches the belt. So just do it like that. Hanging from the belt is a loincloth. Somewhat tattered. I can rough up the bottom of it. Only I could see it. Reference goes below the sketch. Whoops. I was drawing on the reference layer again, as I'm wont to do. Back to brush. It's a pretty good tear, too. Fortunate. Somewhat tattered loincloth. Oh yeah, I really wanted to incorporate the cape. Well, being sort of draped over this arm like that. Means I guess I did a bit of extra drawing that needn't have been done. Like that, so that it's sheltering Lily. I'm gonna commit to that so hard that I'm just going to erase the bits of the armor that are underneath the cape. Re-solidify the bits that got erased on accident a little bit. I can also just patter up the cape a little bit. I suppose I can do that later when I'm working on detailing, but just make a couple of notes now to keep it tattered. And I rewatched the video where Drawfee tries out Clip Studio Paint. And even them, who are professional artists, traced over their 3D. So, it's not a crutch, it's a tool. I actually want to, this is gonna be a tricky pattern. replicate. Okay. Especially on a slightly angled shield like this. I'm just gonna do it one piece at a time. That's the central piece. Yeah, just simplify the design. Fortunately, it's symmetrical, so I only have to remember one half of it at a time. Right, yeah, let's simplify this. Arrow? Oh no. It's a bit more fleur-de-lis-like than I was drawing. Does it come back down into... Okay. It sort of makes a diamond and then a point. Less bulb, more diamond. Yeah, there we go. And wait, which direction does it curve? Upwards, okay. I am trying to work with the actual perspective of the shield, like, vanishing off to the right-hand side. Okay, I think that's enough for the shield. It's not quite the full symbol, but it'll do. It'll do, pig, that'll do. Now I actually do need to move the reference up a little bit. So I can get bottom half of the body. Actually, you know what? If I put it here and then bring it to the front of the sketch. Because now I'm just working on everything under, so that's probably going to work out fine. Okay, you know what? This is something that I usually forget to do, but I'm going to save already, just in case I, you know, crash and lose all of my progress. I've never had clip crash before, but I'd be pretty worried on this one. Ooh, okay. Okay. I don't know why I was just sitting around after it saved. I've got art to do. Okay, so first things first. This is like halfway up the shin, which means around here is where the metal bracer comes in. Right, and it would be going back out like that, or in again. Back out, or coming back in again. All the while, that. Right. The bottom line has something to do with it. Oh, you know what? I made this too wide. It's supposed to be a short portion. Move in a lot there. Yes, and then it goes back up because it's sort of meeting like that. Perfect. And it's more just sort of stacked plates, right? To a better view of the, like, okay, so there's one more stacked plate and then a flat all the way down to the bottom. Let's just skip that first stacked plate and go with a flat all the way to the bottom, huh? I never fixed that foot. It's sort of like a broken ankle. That's fine. And the back of the leg, we can just but coming slightly straighter forwards. The drawing off model and I'm already doing something weird. I'll learn how to draw without using 3D models one day, but that's not the goal today. The goal today is to get art done. Do I actually have any better examples of what the thigh looks? Wait a second. Okay. Never mind. I was gonna say, is the loincloth going all the way around? But no, I don't think it is. It might be. No, it's not. It's just supposed to be shaded. Darker because it's in the... not in direct light. Oh, how tricky this is. Well, sort of chunky armor patterns that I can throw on this sort of thigh. Whoops. Accidentally pressed the hand me around the screen button. Because I wasn't thinking. Okay, let's just make chunky armor, why not? It'll make sense, sort of. Round that out a bit. There. Right. I don't think I'm 100% done, but let's just hide all of the reference stuff and see what happens. Yeah, that's not bad. That's what we've got so far. I should probably draw the hand, now that I'm thinking about it. And that connecting line there. We can just block the hand in. Like that. Alright. And then if we get rid of all of the rest of it, this is what we are left with. It's pretty good, honestly. Now I just have to draw Lily. Lily of the Valley. First things first, gotta put a face on her. Alright, I'm gonna use a much smaller brush than I've been using thus far. Probably... That eyebrow looked a bit too determined. She needs to be worried. Like her nose is just sort of very much that sort of shape. And her mouth is like barely visible. As for hair, very bob, fluffy sort of look to it. It's not entirely flat either. Fix that. Wait, I fixed it by not doing a good job. Alright. Back over here and do what I did on the other side now. I was also trying to wonder about what level of corruption she should have, but I decided to go with little, very little corruption. The more sort of purified, defenseless look rather than the Monster Mash corrupted look. Like, speaking gameplay-wise, she has to be like 1% corrupted when you get the Headless Defender, so... Because Headless Defender is one of the earlier summons you can get. Dress is a bit tough. It is also short sleeve. And you don't see much of it anyways. I am obscuring a large oh no. Drew a bunch of stuff on reference again, didn't I? Yep, I drew everything on reference. That's probably fine, actually, because I think I'd rather have the Lily sketch be separate. ILY. Alright. Fortunately, nothing really overlapped with, the reference image. Paste. Copy becomes art. Wait, what? Not what I meant. That out of reference. I just need to verify that I did that correctly. Okay. Yep, that's everything. Back to brush. Okay, and I also need to move the reference now, which is why I had to do all that separating in the first place. I actually need to move pieces of the reference separately, because they all came over as one picture connected by invisible area. Need to spread everything out a bit more. I'll remain on the same plane. I'm not going to be so cruel as to split it up. It's friends and family. I just need a little bit of extra room. That's actually perfect. First things first, let's get rid of the cape. Whoops. Back on the sketch. Let's get rid of the portion of the cape that is behind Lily. But Lily is behind that armor, so it gets to stay. Get arms in because no clothes covering the arm. Just gonna curve the fingers. It looks a bit more like grasping. Oh, there's a little bit more that needs to be erased. Oh, wait, I did it again. Yeah, this is actually just going to be a full undo. I'll get that later. All right. Yeah, I drew that on the same layer as that headless defender. Another portion of cape that was, or not on the wrong layer, but obscuring what needed to be unobscured. Oh. There we go. I do have to slightly more. Not slight. I do have to do slightly more, but that's not what I was about to say. I don't know what I was about to say, but fine. Inch at the waist of the ribbon. But I actually need to cinch it at the waist and not just say that. Whoop. I'm not getting this bow quite the way I want it to. Okay, I think I actually have to, like... Okay. I'd like a thicker brush for this, I think, actually. It's close to what I'm going for, but not... There we go, that's a bit better. I can knock the size back down. dress actually billows outwards, like this. Whoops. Brush. Thank you. Whoops. Whoops. Things are happening. Oh, Control Y? What did I do? I pressed Control... No, Control Y is a redo. What did I press? Oh, Control B, I think. Nope. That just turned everything blue. Oh, that actually works, surprisingly. There you go. Control B turns everything on the layer you're drawing on blue. Oh, E? Was that it? I did something. Oh, Control E is combine layers. I did something that just selected everything on the layer. It'd be useful to figure out how to do that on purpose, but I guess now's not the time. I'll experiment with it in my own time, I suppose. Alright, now how far down does the dress go? Past the knees, okay. Oh wait, no, she's supposed to be behind... Okay, I guess she's in front of the armor. Never mind. And have portions of her be in front of and behind the armor simultaneously. Brush onto Lily's sketch. I just need to reconnect some lines. Oh, and it'll also be in front on this side too. Hey! Real good at making mistakes. We'll be covering a fair bit as well. We don't actually need that there either, because that'll be behind the dress. Actually, probably a bit better to have Lily in front now that I'm working on it. Oh. Behind the reference image. I can drop that below again. And it's somewhat pleated, the dress is. I'll just goes in over the top like that. Right, that was on the reference layer. Alright, back to the Lily sketch. Fortunately, I'm catching a lot of these drawing on the wrong layer moments pretty early, not leading to any unfortunate mishaps. Just begin to suggest the lines. I'd also like to get more comfortable drawing in, like, grayscale or black and white, like I'm doing now. And just sort of suggesting things as there. She is wearing slippers. For some reason I thought she was barefoot. mouse over the top of it. Here. I'm actually just about done. It was a lot faster than I would have thought. Yeah, the drawing using 3D models has really sped up my process. It has also made me very dependent on those 3D models. Okay. Oh, let's just pull back and take a look at a book, Reading Rainbow. Didn't draw the bottom of her face. And I can just follow the line of the face there. Right. Back out again. How does it look? It's pretty good. Decent, I would say, at the very least. Just connect some final line. That. Get rid of some lines that shouldn't be there, like this one. Fix some lines that got... Oh wait, no, never mind. Face. That was supposed to be cut off because of the tear in the cloak. Let's just soften some of these edges. Look a bit sharper, I suppose. Sharper in a soft way. It's, I'm not using a very large brush, that's why. Yeah, clean lines are useful, but I think it's actually a lot more fun to draw like this. Like the very loose, non-detailed aesthetic. I think it probably helps my art style a little bit as well, given that whenever I go into too much detail, it starts to make it look worse. Just a bit. Brought back down the brush size because the Lily sketch was a smaller brush so that I can touch up a few details. Just some suggestions of arm there, those line. Okay. But yeah. There we go. Oh wait, there's one last thing. Forgot about the sword. I'm just covering up all of the tears in this cape, huh? Let's just give the sword its own layer. Sword. Or wait, you know what? I do want to keep the sword in. But I'm wondering if I were to head back over to this 3D plane, select this item, Okay, no. Go back here. Zoom out like that. So you just can see everything. I come back here. We move this sword behind so that it's mostly obscured by the cape. Just sort of see it stuck in the ground back here. Okay. Make my job a little bit easier. I'm fine with cheating so that I don't have to draw the really detailed sketch of the hilt of the sword. Because, let's just pull it back up the reference. This hilt is ornate. Second, until I find an image with it visible. There we go. It's not ornate. I just don't want to draw it. But it is just sort of a standard sword blade. Brush. Wood. I can also give the sword blade some, like, nicks and chips as well. Reminds me of Gale's sword, actually, a little bit. Oh, hello, Mitz. Just about done right now, actually. Good to see you. I could draw some other stuff after this. I had nothing planned, so I don't know what I would draw. There we go. Drawing another crack or actual chip out. Alright. Now that's done. Turn that off. There we go. Headless Defender. Oh, my hands are very chilly. Alright. I actually draw it, like, defending from something. Have a spear coming in from off screen. Boop, boop. There we go. Actually, I can just do some fun stuff with this. That border effect. The black. At the thing that I'm drawing to be brown. Boost size of the brush. Also gonna want to boost the size of the thickness of the edge. There we go. Now it looks like a stick. I didn't even have to do anything exceptionally complicated. Looks like a drumstick. Protecting her from an irate drummer. Another layer. I want to actually put a spear point on the end of it. Sort of like a gray color would be good. This one doesn't get a fancy border. Fine. Alright, there we go. Just a spear coming out of nowhere. Off from screen right. And crop. Actually, you know what? I think it looked better with extra space surrounding it. Yeah, that's fine. Save. Alright, and now what? And at a loss at this point. I don't know what to do anymore. See. What did I have planned to, like, sort of start doing recently? I don't know, let's take a look at my Steam. It's in my library right now. Download it. Right. I just actually remembered something that I was planning on doing. Steam? No, I didn't put my Steam back online. So, since Sekiro wasn't working for me properly, what I have done to sort of wait for the weeks coming up to Elden Ring's launch is I downloaded a overhaul mod for the original Dark Souls 1. So that should go well. Because I was able to stream Dark Souls 1 through PC without any sort of lag issues, so hopefully the modded version isn't too much more intensive, I suppose. Anything else? Anything that I've been meaning to talk about? I was on Kojiro's stream last night for just like a bit under an hour, just because I saw him playing Monster Hunter World, and I it's basically just forced my way into his game because we're friends on Steam and I am capable of doing that. That was fun. Alright, I bought Subnautica because I was planning on streaming that too. I bought and downloaded it. Haven't launched it yet. We can probably get to that. Got it on December 22nd. Guess I've had this sitting here for a little while and just forgot about it. I'll get to that probably after Elden Ring at this point. And I am planning on Elden Ring being like, I don't know, at the very minimum, 1 week worth of solid streams. Probably daily streams of Elden Ring. Because I'm not going to be playing Elden Ring off stream, I don't think. Unless I'm doing some, like, boring farming. But I doubt that'll happen. Given how massive the world seems to be. Yeah. I'm probably going to be streaming Elden Ring every single day once it comes out. That'll be fun. And I'll probably be streaming it for a very long amount of time, too. Big event coming up. Well, I was also thinking about, what is it? Doing karaoke on Valentine's Day. Because I'm also nearing, what is it? It's near, yeah, I'm somewhat close to 250 followers on Twitter. But, I probably won't hit it by that time. By Valentine's Day. That's only, what, 6 days away? Is it on the 14th or the 12th? I don't remember. Yeah. Oh. I guess that's it. A bit of a shorter stream today. I'm actually surprised that I managed to pull this one out in, what, almost just under 2 hours at this point? Alright. Oh. Thank you all so much for coming. Bit of an early exit, but going to be it for today. I'm to bid you all adieu and farewell. Good day.